Hey, welcome back to the Experience Share. My name is Blake, and today this is a bit of a harder video for me because this is the end of Alpha and Beta. This can be the last video that I record before Arthurian Legends releases. Now, I'm going to be here in Denton, Texas at the Play Sorcery event where we are playing Sealed, and so hopefully you're able to see me play on stream, and I'd love to be able to bring home that Death Dealer playmat, but we'll see. I don't really have much of a strategy for Arthurian Legends yet, maybe because we've only seen 20 cards, but this is an end of an era, and so I wanted to walk through what are the most trending, what are the most popular cards of all of Sorcery. And so typically this is also the same way that I actually go out and I build decks, and so we're going to come over to Curiosa.io, and the natural trend when you hit cards, it's going to bring it up by name. And before I show you what's the most trending copies, we're going to start over here on the left. We're going to do avatars, and I'm curious, I don't know, I've seen this a few weeks ago, but I haven't looked at it recently. And so if you change it to trending, we can see what are the most popular avatars being built with right now. So Sorcerer, I mean, I guess that makes sense. That is the default best avatar in the game right now. Every avatar that you play that's not Sorcerer, you're asking the question, is it better than tap and draw a card? And it really depends. You'll see that I just posted that Seer Geistwood deck, and that's been a ton of fun. So it's cool to see Seer trending in popularity. Battle Mage is a surprising one for me that a lot of people are playing Battle Mage right now. Elementalist, after just winning the most recent Sorcery tournament, I'm less surprised that it's as high as it is. Death Speaker, I honestly would have put Death Speaker as number 2. I feel like that's always been one that's been heavily brewed upon, but maybe it's just not trending right now. So these are the top 5 avatars that people are building around right now. Poor Pathfinder, it's probably only going to be scooting down. Wave Shaper is kind of surprising for me. People aren't really brewing with Avatar of Air right now. All right. And the Spell Slinger. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't even noticed that it was on Curiosa yet. So that's pretty cool to see. So your avatar drafts the winning agenda. That's neat. Really cool. I'm excited to see if Spell Slinger is most popular in draft. If there's one, I'm curious if there's ever going to be a competitive deck. I feel like there's no way that drawing 4 cards is ever better than tap to draw a card with Sorcerer, but I'm curious how this is going to impact the limited meta. Avatar of Water. People are brewing around with Avatar of Fire more than Avatar of Air right now. That seems crazy to me. I wonder if that's just because of the alpha precons, we have new people coming in, everybody's already kind of brewed with the alpha cards. I'm not sure, but very fascinating. Doesn't surprise me that Sorcerer is there. And let's drill this down first. Let's look at minions and start with just Earth. All right, Land Surveyor, Root Spider, Pudge Butcher, Autumn Unicorn over the Boss Control. That's pretty surprising there. I would say nothing is too surprising to me here except for the fact that Root Spider isn't number 1. I'm not sure. If you're playing Earth, you probably need to be thinking, why am I not playing Root Spider? I didn't play it in the combo deck that I posted recently because we're trying to be more proactive, and this is definitely a reactive, but who knows? Maybe just having something that slows down the game could be beneficial. I'm not sure. But these all seem about right, and let's take a look here at the bottom. What are the least popular Earth cards being played right now? All right, Relentless Crowd, that was a promo. Monster Hunter. All right, Gargoyle, Mage Slayer, Master Tracker, and Gnomes. And yeah, it's I be honest, I haven't seen any of these decks. I've wanted to build an Angels deck. There's hardly any Angels. This might be the only Angel in the game. A 6/4 at the beginning of your turn, untap all your allies here. Not that great. It has to be I can't even see a scenario. Maybe if it was a 6/5 it could see more play. A 6/6, I would say it would see play because it's airborne, but at 6/4, it's just not quite strong enough to be able to be played right now. But beautiful artwork, all the same. Gotta love Sorcery. Monster Hunter. That'd be interesting if there was a monster set in the future that made Monster Hunter more popular, or a sideboard card similar with Mage Slayer. Really neat cards. All right, and let's move on over. So we did fire, or let's do fire next. So Violent, Death Dealer, Kobolds, Cavalry, Scarabs beating out the Dragonettes. That's pretty surprising to me. If I had to stack, I would say, honestly, probably Cavalry is number one right now, is because of how strong Charge is. I would say that was probably the most powerful one. A Vile Imp, there's less things that are 2 power now. So I don't know. I think Violent's probably not as strong. I think Kobold's a little bit better. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably how I would rank these 5. Taking a look here down at the bottom. All right, Berserker, Cyclops. Caravan. Maybe when it's holding an Excalibur because it has all elements. I don't know. Could be a scary Caravan there. I feel like Chimera should be better. It can simultaneously attack 3 units at a location. I feel like this card should be better. Imagine being able to like grapple shot over and then attack and kill 3 minions. That feels like it would be pretty strong. But Chimera not getting a ton of play. And really, it's just because of the pace of Sorcery. Like it's 6 mana, it comes down, it does nothing, and then just gets removed. But really, well, same thing. Beautiful art, great cards. Excited to see, if there's anything in Arthurian Legends that makes those stand out. Water probably least played out of any of the any of the elements in Sorcery thus far. Ruler of Thule, not surprising. Same. Turtles, Fae, and Great Old One. I'm surprised Captain isn't above Fae. I feel like less people are playing Fae Changeling right now, but I think Ruler of Thule, same, really strong cards. Turtles are just annoying to deal with. It can gain you a lot of life on the defensive side, and with the Elementalist control deck, Turtles is a big part of that. And I think all of these are actually the least played cards. But we got the discard a water site and can attack and untap. So, if you have a way to draw extra sites in water, who knows? Maybe then it's a 4/6 discard a card, but not too much there. It's funny. I haven't even read all the text on a lot of these cards. Like Harpooners deal 1 damage to target minion above or below an adjacent body of water pulled into this location. If it was more than deal 1, if it was like, imagine if it was deal 2, that'd be a little bit better. Yeah, because they're not striking back, you're just dealing the damage. Who knows? Maybe there would be something there, but 1 is just not meaningful enough. The Bridge Troll, whenever an enemy attacks Bridge Troll, they have to spend all of their remaining mana to give to you on your next turn. Okay. I've seen it with, I think, Mask of Mayhem to make it where your opponent just doesn't have any mana. It's a rude little combo there. All right. Air. Nothing stands out to me too much. Grandmaster Wizard, Highland Princess, Apprentice Wizard, Dapper Vampire, Gyre Hippogriffs. All of these are incredibly strong cards. Dapperville's probably, I would say, the weakest of all these, just because it comes down and does nothing and it can just be removed. But this is definitely I would say, a player's favorite card, in that you heal whenever it strikes, and if it's not removed, it can definitely take over games. And as far as least played, Puppet Master, it did get a slight buff in the sense that whenever you gain control of its untapped, you are able to attack with it. But just being a 6/1, it's kind of weak. It's a cool Genesis effect, but your opponent just has to be untapped for it to really matter. There's just better things to play. Oh, the poor old East-West Dragon. This is one of the curios that I would really hope to pull at a beta, was the West East Dragon. I thought the art was beautiful, and I just loved the concept and how funny it was just to mirror the image and call it West East. Riddle Sphinx, ability to draw a card. If it was a 6/5, 6/6, it would definitely see play as a 6/6, but a 6/4 just not quite enough. But I'm curious to see, same thing, if there's like, can the airship do anything cool by carrying any number of allied minions? Does that do anything now that we have knights that are being played at the back of the round table? They all jump in the airship, they climb aboard and go into battle. I don't know. But we'll see within the next set. And who knows, maybe with the Dragon Lord set, the avatar has dragons cost 1 less mana. And a 4/4, maybe that's playable. Alright, none. This is probably going to be not all that surprising here. Oh, okay. I guess avatars. No, there's... Is it no minions? Yeah, I guess so. I guess they're all artifacts that have no... I thought that was a minion, but maybe it's a minion artifact? Interesting. All right, it's moving over to magics. Come on, it's got to be common sense, right? Yep. Common sense, bury, earthquake, dispel, divine healing, all incredibly strong cards. Gigantism, really good. Craterize, a staple. Well, was a staple at the beginning. It's fallen out of favor just because of how hard it is to get down to 8 mana. Least played. I don't know. Let's see if anything stands out here. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, sideboard cards mainly is what I would say that these are. Moving over to fire. Firebolts, Infiltrate, Poison Nova, Major Explosion, and Blaze. Yeah, I would say nothing catches me off too much here. I would say Poison Nova has gone up so much in play recently, just because if you're not playing Earth and you're playing Fire, you're playing Poison Nova as a mass removal spell. I am surprised that Major Explosion is so high, but Flame Wave I feel like is probably just slightly better because it can almost guarantee a death blow. You don't have to be nearby or 2 steps away, but it was a card that I definitely love in the burn decks that I was playing at the very beginning of the format. Awesome. And as far as least played, I'd love for there to be a way to make Warp Spasm work. Meteor Shower, I've cast this one time, trying to ramp up into 9 mana. That was a ton of fun. Really cool, like a 4-player slower match. But nothing stands out too much here. Water, Riptide Drown, Plague of Frogs, Polymorph, Ice Lance. Ice Lance, that buff, or the nerf, making it where the 3 happens on the site where the caster is, hurts Ice Lance quite a bit. The 3/2/1 feels like it would be more powerful than it really is, but it's really hard to hit numbers because you don't have a way to really manipulate or control. It's not like deal 3 damage, then deal 2 damage, then deal 1 damage, so you could potentially kill a 6 power thing. Unfortunately, it's just not quite as strong as that. Wrath of the Sea is a really strong removal spell here in water. There's just not a lot of ways to be able to utilize Wrath of the Sea effectively right now. And as far as least played, Extinguish, Uprolling, Frost Nova, Marine Voyage. Yeah, these aren't just a ton of cards that I could see. It's just so expensive. Maybe if water was a little bit stronger in the next set, maybe some of these, I don't know. Maybe they're just draft for now. Air, come on, it's got to be Lightning Bolt, right? Yeah, Lightning Bolt, Blink, Grapple, probably the best magic spells come out of air. Browse, Disenchant. The very controversial Chaos Twister as a piece of removal. Air probably does have the best spells to play. Blast, Mortality, Rain of Arrows. Telekinesis is one. Caster snatches and picks up target nearby artifact they can carry. That is an interesting one that maybe could see some more play in the next set. I have a feeling that artifacts are going to be a major theme within the next set, and I'd be curious to see if telekinesis can ever come out and be a part of that next set meta. All right. And moving over to auras, we're trying to leave all the colors on here because there's not a ton of them. I am surprised that Atlantean Fate beats out Thunderstorm in the trending, but Atlantean Fate, Thunderstorm, Summoning Sphere, Abundance, Crusade, beating out Jihad. Interesting. And there's kind of been there was an insurgence of Entangle Terrain after Drew from On the Play. We started building that Entangle Mage deck. I feel like we started seeing more Entangle Terrains being played. Atlantean Fate, the unique version of, and Water's version of Earthquake, incredibly strong sight. Evil Presence is one that I've been playing a lot, and as more spirits keep coming out, Evil Presence will only get better. As far as the bottom 5 goes, Wall of Air, Rest in Peace, Drought, Sandstorm, and Blizzard. I'm curious to, Water might be getting a better in the next set. Drought is an amazing sideboard card, shutting off a body of water. It'd be interesting to see if that's able to make anything. It's really good going against Enchantress as well. So I'd be curious to see if Drought's ever able to get any sort of play in the future. Wildfire, I do feel like, is probably underplayed here. It's pretty strong because whenever it leaves the site, it's burning 3 damage. You can easily get 2-for-1s with this site. I think you just need spellcasters to really be able to turn it on. But I think Wildfire is probably a better site than most people give it credit for, even outside of Enchantress. All right, last but not least, we have the artifacts, and it probably doesn't surprise you. Cores and stones are the number 1. So we'll just scroll down here. Interesting. A trinket makes sense. I'm surprised that I don't see Devil's Egg in the next 5. It's Manuscript, Boulder, and Cathera Mechanism. Rolling Boulder makes sense with the Avatar of Air deck, but really I think Devil's Egg should probably be up here with this Angel's Egg. Really strong card. I would say Angel's Egg is probably better in the sense that you can... I feel like it's very impactful to be able to gain the extra life and always deal, because you can still die as Devil's Eggs are going down. I mean, yes, you can still go to Death's Door with Angel's Eggs too, but I feel like the extra health on the plus side can go a little bit farther here. As far as least played, Eric's Curios are making a lot of sense. They just don't want to rip their $200 card. Battering Rams, Mannequin, Juggernaut, Magnetic Muzzle. Not too much to say about these. I can't really see too many of these getting played. Magnetic Muzzle can go into certain combo decks, but it's definitely one that isn't played too much here. For the sites, because there's so many, I want it to be meaningful. I'm actually going to break these down looking at rarity first. So let's look at the most popular thresholds across Sorcery. So it looks like it's Air, Fire, Earth, and then Water. That doesn't surprise me too much. Water is down there at the bottom. I almost feel like Earth is better than Fire though, so I'm surprised that you see more deserts than you do of the villages. But really, really strong sites here, and I'm curious as to the draft sites down here. I'm curious how these will affect the limited environment, and also if there's any decks that want to use these. They did share that these sites are not in Arthurian Legends, and so I'm curious, did they recycle these same mechanics here and just issue out new artwork for the towers? But could you imagine if there was 6 towers. If they issued out 3 more, I feel like there has to be something different for the towers. So I'm curious what sites are in Arthurian Legends. All right, so taking a look here at the exceptional, it's got to, okay, duels is not surprising. Ruins, since we just said that air and fire are the most popular, makes sense that ruins is up there. And then since air is the most popular, that seems like it's just the common trend, taking all the duels and bringing them up here to the top. Free City getting a lot of love right now. I would never have thought that Free City be played more than any of the duels. I would have put all the duels up here at the top. Floodplain, same thing. Bedrock, Gnome Hollows have been staples for the meta for a long time. Watchtower really strong to help get rid of stuff. So many good sites. Yeah, and there's not a ton here that I have much to really to say. Minions occupying nearby sites can't submerge or surface. Maybe there's something with Iceberg if you're in the water mirror match and there's things that want to be underwater. I'm not sure if maybe there's a chance there. But really awesome, exceptional sites. That's one thing just to go back through and see, like, almost all these see play. Like, the play stops at Shifting Sands, and even then Shifting Sands scenes play. So it's like all of these other exceptional sites see play in the alpha beta meta right now. Going over to the elites. Wow, I never would have guessed that Observatory would have been the most popular site. I would have said, if you made me say, I probably would have said Sinkhole, because of Avatar of Air, because of Geomancer and Roots decks. But Rift Valley, that makes a lot of sense to me. Observatory, I think, is good, but if you don't have a lot of shuffle effects, be curious, like, how many towers are you playing? Does it ever make sense to have 2 of each tower versus having observatories so you see the towers more often? Observatory is great, but if you don't have a ton of shuffle effects, you would have drawn those cards anyways. Now, if you are already playing 2 of each tower, at that point, observatory is just a free include. So maybe that's where a lot of its reps are getting in. All right, moving over to the uniques. Mirror Realm being the #1 most played card makes a lot of sense on the sites wise because it is able to copy any sites. I don't know if I would have put it at my #1 though, because not all of my decks are playing Mirror Realm. Pillar, River, Color, Cloud City. Yeah, there's these unique sites are just absolutely incredible. They're basically free includes to have that you get a ton of value out of them. Mirror Realm being able to copy them all. And looking at the ones that are least played, Volts. Interesting. I'm surprised it's not Pristine Paradise. This is one that I tried to little success, but it's so risky to be able to have your opponent be able to walk a minion on there and turn off not only your thresholds, but also your mana for the turn. Volts of Zul is cool in the sense that you can draw 3 cards, but to skip an entire turn can be incredibly dangerous. Donnybrook Inn seems like it's going to be played potentially more in Arthurian Legends with Hamlet, Camelot, these that are reducing the cost of your minions to be able to play them. I wonder if Donnybrook is going to be able to see as just an 5th copy of the Hamlet in some people's decks. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if Donnybrook ever goes up. All right, so let's take some of these filters off now, and I'm curious, like, what are just the most popular cards right now in all of Sorcery? So the sites, that makes a ton of sense because they're going in so many decks. Lightning Bolt, an iconic card. Philosopher's Stone, if you're playing multicolored decks, it's not quite an auto-include. There's some decks that don't want to draw into the late game, but it's pretty close to an auto-include. Mobility is so strong. It's something that we've learned, and the ability to draw a card after you blink is incredibly good. Makes sense that blink is there. Common Sense, Grapple Shot, Berry. I'm surprised that Earthquake isn't above Berry, but well, I guess you're probably playing 3 or so berries and only 2 earthquakes, so maybe that has something to deal with it. when I'm looking at when I see the top of this is not a ton of finishers. Lightning Bolt is a pseudo finisher. You don't always know if the avatar is going to be by itself, but to see Fire Bolts down here at the bottom, definitely an iconic finishing type card. And let's see what the least played cards in all of Sorcery are. And I'm curious if they're all water. I don't know. Crazy, 400, over 400 cards here. Excited for Arthurian Legends. Get another 220 for us to be able to brew around with. Alright, we finally made it to the bottom. So if we take avatars out, Battering Ram, Extinguish, Exorcism, our poor Kappas, Wall of Air, Berserker, Rest in Peace, Wicker, Mannequin. A lot of the least played cards in all of Sorcery. That's fascinating. I would have expected them to see them more. I'm curious what's causing the avatars to be here at the very bottom. But let me know in the comment section down below, what card have you enjoyed playing the most in Sorcery? And is there any surprises that you saw as far as the most popular cards go for Sorcery? Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe. I'm so excited to see what 2024 and the rest of 2024 and 2025 has to offer for Sorcery. I'll be around. Keep making videos. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.